Hey everyone, I'm Lindsey Hedrick. Welcome back to my kitchen. I'm a self-taught chef and normally I share with you the tried and true recipes and techniques that I've discovered in my quest to up my culinary mojo. But today we're doing things a little different because we're doing something that I've never done before. So you and I will go into the fire together because what we're doing involves this little guy. So what really inspired me to kind of take on this venture today is that I bought these little pumpkins at the market the other day for decoration because of course I did. And at the bottom there is a pumpkin pie recipe. So I got inspired to make a pumpkin pie from scratch. So I've kind of fiddled around with a couple recipes. We're gonna see what happens. I don't know. I've made a couple pies in my life and they've all been edible, so we got that going for us. But we're making the pie crust, we're making the filling from scratch. Let's make some homemade pumpkin pie.
For this scratch-made pumpkin pie, you will need one 14-ounce can sweetened condensed milk, half a cup heavy whipping cream, 2 tablespoons cornstarch, 2 tablespoons olive oil, a teaspoon each of cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger, 3 large eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 3-pound sugar pumpkin or pie pumpkin. Okay, so let's prepare our pumpkin for roasting. First thing we need to do is cut it in half. I like to score the outside of the pumpkin first and then go back with my knife. Whatever you do, just keep your fingers out of the way. It isn't the easiest of tasks. Next, scrape out all the seeds and save them for roasting later. Place pumpkin cut side down on a cookie sheet and wrap with foil. And we're going to bake this for 40 minutes to about an hour at 400 degrees. While our pumpkin roasts, I'm going to make my pie crust. I'm using 2 cups all-purpose flour, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, ice water, and 11 tablespoons of very cold unsalted butter. Mix the flour and salt and then add the butter, smushing the butter into the flour with your fingers until it resembles a pebbly sand. Next, we're going to add our ice water 1 tablespoon at a time, starting with about 4 tablespoons. Mix together with a fork, and continue to add water until your dough comes together but is still on the drier side, because I think I read somewhere that pie dough is supposed to be on the drier side. Portion your dough into 2 discs and put them in the fridge to chill and relax for a little bit. On a floured surface, roll one of your discs out to a 12-inch diameter. I had some issues with this pie crust. It's totally fine. Next time I make a pie, I'll try a different recipe, but I don't know. And I definitely should have watched a tutorial on how to crimp pie crust before filming this. I chilled this pie crust for about 15 minutes, and then right before it went in the oven, I docked it with a fork.
So now we're going to cover our pie shell before we bake it. We're going to do something called blind baking. So we're going to cover this with foil, and if you have little pie weights, which are usually like these little ceramic little balls, otherwise I have just some dried beans I'm going to use. So now we're just going to bake this in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes.
Now to make our filling.
Scrape all of this beautiful pumpkin. The pumpkin is very soft. It really just comes right out. Still really hot. Ah, it's burning my fingies. Tastes like a gourd. A festive gourd. All right, well, here we go. So now we're just gonna blitz this a little bit. Help you have your lid on properly. Okay, so now we're just going to add the rest of our ingredients. So we have our cornstarch, vanilla, some of our olive oil, we have our nutmeg, our ginger, and our cinnamon, our salt, condensed milk. Let's give that a whirl, and then we're gonna add our eggs. So now we just need to pour this into our pie shell.
I realized right after this I forgot to add the heavy cream, so I added that before adding it to the pie shell. Bake in a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes to an hour. You want there to be just a little jiggle in the center. In the meantime, let's be extra and make some whipped cream. I have an extra chilled bowl, half a cup heavy cream, 1 tablespoon sugar, and just whip until stiff peaks. The footage of the pie coming out of the oven somehow got deleted, so we'll just have to settle for this close-up of the slice. Ooh.
All right, everybody, this is our 100% from scratch pumpkin pie. And I have to say, I'm pretty stoked about it. I was a little concerned when it baked, it domed, and then as it cooled, it kind of developed this little wavy film on top, so I wasn't sure if I overbaked it, underbaked it, if it had to do with the oven temperature, but the actual like pumpkin custard really looks really good. So I'm excited to try it. Let's give this 100% from scratch pumpkin pie a taste. You guys, that's really good. That tastes just as good as any pumpkin pie I've ever had. And this is just the kind of smug that I like to be. You can be like, oh, that's cool, you got your pie from Marie Callender? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's nice. I just made mine 100% from scratch. You know, I roasted the pumpkin and everything. So I don't know, guys, I can confidently say that this was worth the effort. And yeah, there's some tweaks that need to be had, but this is a delicious pie. And I strongly encourage you to, I don't know, use some of those decoration pumpkins and make yourself a pie. I'm Lindsey Hedrick. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will be back very soon with some more yummy videos. It's freaking delicious.